Hello and welcome to SparkCast. For today's episode, I'm joined by Joshua Zaporzan. Zaporzan, right?
Zaporzan, close.
Zaporzan. Okay, perfect. The president of Audax Ventures, a world-class custom software development company, and also one of SparkCenter's elite partners. So thanks for joining us for this episode, Josh. I'm here at SparkCenter's downtown Oshawa office in Ontario. Where are you joining us from today?
Yeah, thanks so much, Kaylee. Happy to be here. I am joining you from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Awesome. How's the weather there today?
You know what? It's been decent. We're
Yeah.
actually in a nice bit of a warmer spell right now. I think today's going up to about 10 degrees or so here. So everyone's happy
Balmy.
this time of year. People are in good spirits here in Winnipeg, in Manitoba.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice that winter's finally coming to an end.
Yes, we deserve it. It's been a long winter, but it's an exciting time of year. Get some spring weather and some green grass showing, so it's good.
Love it. Love it. And so to kind of get us started today, I'm hoping you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background as an entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household, so I kind of have always been an entrepreneur from an early stage, and both my parents being entrepreneurs growing up, that was kind of the only thing that I learned and saw and knew, and was started right out of university and actually during university with my first company. So always worked for myself. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of some great companies and having built and sold a couple of companies and absolutely love the work that I do. Love working with other entrepreneurs, and yeah, I've just always had that entrepreneurial knack and spirit, and enjoy helping others, seeing great innovative companies be built, been grown, and continue to kind of evolve on that innovation side. So my entrepreneurial journey has been filled with some great moments, some challenging moments, but overall, love what I do, and I guess that's the main thing.
That's awesome. It's pretty incredible to have grown up in a family of entrepreneurs and just to kind of been ingrained in that from such a young age. Just curious, what was your first startup in university?
Well, it goes back to before university. My very first company that I did was it was like a lawn care company, but it's funny because I remember I was so excited to start it. I did it. It was up at our family cottage, and I ended up cutting one grass. My first customer. I'll never forget how excited I was to get that first phone call, the first customer, cut that first lawn, and then absolutely hated it. So then I stopped. So it was short-lived.
Trial and error.
Exactly. That was
Yep.
my very first entrepreneurial kind of venture. But then the actual first real company, so to speak, it was in the marketing space. So it was kind of like a digital marketing and website development agency, which is actually the natural evolution of what Audax Ventures is today. And that's really how it started was, yeah, it was all digital marketing, search engine optimization, and website development.
Very neat, very neat. Well, definitely entrepreneurialism is ingrained in you and in your genes. So tell us a little bit more about Audax Ventures then. Like, tell us about the company and what it is you do.
Yeah, absolutely. By definition, Audax is a venture studio and software development company. So we work with and invest in primarily early stage and established growing companies to kind of support the launch, growth, and the exit of their companies. So everything from helping to write business plans, helping to raise capital. We provide a lot of fractional services, so fractional CMO, COO, and CTO to organizations. And then the biggest arm of our company is the software development side. So we have a large team of developers, project managers, designers, where we will build everything from simple mobile apps to custom level enterprise software solutions with artificial intelligence, machine learning, kind of the whole deal. So we've really built the company around providing that suite of resources for those organizations that want to become more innovative, bring innovative solutions to market, and have those resources to be able to do so. And then not only just build it, but also enter the market and scale effectively. We also do a fair bit of like strategy work with some of those more established organizations, with
Mhm.
some of our partner companies as well within our umbrella of organizations. But yeah, so it's a fun mix of work, and we love to see new innovative ideas come to market and grow, and eventually, hopefully, go on to do great things.
That's great. So very all-encompassing. And what about the businesses you work with? Like, are there any kind of size or just stage restrictions?
Yeah, stage, not really. We've worked with a lot of our primary kind of niche is more earlier stage ventures, and kind of early stage growth companies. That's kind of our suite, but we've also done a lot of work with a lot of established growing companies, specifically companies that are looking to kind of going through that decline and reinvention stage of, there's so many manual operational items in their organizations, and they're looking at how they can involve technology and software to automate and enhance their efficiencies to help them grow and re-innovate in the marketplace. So we really are open to working with really anyone that's got a tech or software or kind of needs in the business
Mhm.
side. Our specialty, though, and the core of our business is more on that early stage and early growth companies. In terms of like industries or company sizes of that regards, we're pretty much industry agnostic. We've worked with clients geographically all over the world and in so many different industries as well, from clean tech to just general marketplaces to e-commerce sites and kind of everything in between. So no real massive parameters around requirements of companies and sizes or industries, but definitely, obviously, with a focus of innovation and technology.
For sure. And so obviously all of those kind of that scope is why Spark Center saw that Audax Ventures was such a good fit for us to bring on as an elite partner. So could you just talk a little bit about kind of what that partnership looks like to you? Like how do you assist our tech and innovation clients?
Yeah, it's been a great partnership and one that we're super excited about too, because it's like you mentioned, it's that great fit for shared values and continuous innovation and learning and the exact type of entrepreneurs that we want to help and work with. Specifically with Spark, we've kind of in two main ways. We've supported as kind of a technical advisor to some teams in the Spark clients, I guess, just to help advise on some of that technical guidance, specifically when it comes to software development and what to look out for when hiring a development team or building your own internal development team and what that software development journey should look like. And then additionally, on the Cape side, we host a series of 3 workshops, webinars about how to build out software and software development roadmaps, and then work with the individual teams in the program to actually help them build their software development roadmaps, so that they can have that as part of their business plan and have a really good strategy and plan in place to be able to take their idea and start to develop it. So it's been a great partnership, and we are a referral of Sparks for actual software development work as well, too. But on that advisory side, working with the Spark clients, it's been great to provide that insight and help them along with their software development journeys.
Yeah, that's great. And it's been awesome having you guys on board. And just for the audience, CAPE is kind of a part of our startup visa program. So that's looking at bringing international entrepreneurs and preparing them for the journey into Canada. So it's been great having you guys part of all of that. Kind of just getting a little bit more into like your expertise and kind of advice you can give. I'm sure our listeners are keen for some tips and tricks, in the software development space and everything. So could you maybe share some common mistakes you see startups making when it comes to software development?
I think a big one that a lot of entrepreneurs that I see in general forget, is this comment of the value is in what gets used, not what gets built. And I think especially when it comes to software development and entrepreneurship in general, you have to make sure that when you're building a business or a product, that you have that end user in mind and you've done proper validation, you have a target market. You could build the most incredibly awesome, powerful piece of software or technology, but if you don't have an end user or if you haven't built it for that correct target market, it's useless. No one's going to use it. You're not going to build up a company around it. You're not going to generate revenue. And so I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see is the importance of early stage validation, especially with technology. And when you're
Mhm.
building your software, making sure that you're building it with the end user in mind. I mean, especially nowadays, that user experience of software is so incredibly important. If you have bugs or if it doesn't look very nice or it's not on brand, you lose customers. It's just like websites, right?
Really
Like that
quickly,
brand
right? People,
very quickly.
yep. Hmm.
That user experience is so important. And so I think just having that top of mind, whether you have your own internal development team or you're working with an outsourced development team, just ensuring the importance of that building with the end user in mind is really important. And it sounds simple, but in the moment and in that process and journey, it's easy to forget about that and you're just focused on the actual build and what you're trying to do. So that's a big common mistake that I see and just that early validation. And then kind of the second one I would say is in alignment with that, but it's the testing and debugging stage. So many entrepreneurs rush through that because they're just excited to get their product to market. And it's like same thing, right? If you have even if it's a good product, a good target market, but if you go to market, it's got all these bugs and it doesn't work properly, you lose your customers and chances are they're not coming back. So
Yeah, you lose
take
that
that
trust,
extra
right?
Completely. So
Mhm.
taking that extra time to just do the proper testing and debugging stages of before you fully go to market is a common mistake and easier. Again, it's you're excited, you want something to go to market, but take the time, do things right from day one, even if it takes a little bit longer, and it'll pay dividends long term. Validate your product, test with real users, not just you and your family and your internal team. Incredibly important, and those are some of the common biggest mistakes, both kind of relatable to software development, but also I think entrepreneurship in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great insight. Thank you for that. And then I'm hoping you can speak a little bit to kind of trends. What are you seeing in the industry? Is there any tips you could give to startups just kind of for what they should be focusing on?
Yeah, I think the big one right now is obviously AI. Just AI is changing the game for everything right now, and I love looking at different trends of, and this is actually one of the things I talk about in the first Cape session all the times, is kind of trends and different types of technology, and cybersecurity is a big one. Obviously today with the amount of data and AI and everything, but I think from an entrepreneur's perspective, how this really relates is it's important no matter what business you're building, what type of tech or platform or business you're building, to be aware of what some of those trends are or how AI is being used so that you can try and incorporate those technology and innovative trends into your business in some way, shape, or form so that you're providing an innovative solution in the marketplace. But obviously right now the big one's AI. It's a game changer, and almost every entrepreneur is thinking about how can I use AI in my business? How could I use it to optimize things, make things more efficient, make things more automated. So that's a really big one. The other one I think really is cybersecurity and data protection is so incredibly important, especially as AI becomes bigger and more technology and innovation comes to play.
Mhm.
It's a big space and it's an important one, but I think it'll also lead to a lot of new business opportunities in that space as well. So those are a couple that come top to mind, but biggest by far is AI.
Awesome. That's great. Um, I want to hear a little bit more about Audax Ventures, and kind of how you have helped companies. Like, I don't know if you have any case studies you could speak to or particular client success, you could tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, a good one that I like to talk about is a company called Fundies. Actually, it went through kind of our venture studio program, and we worked with the early stage founders right from the ideation stage all the way to market entry and growth stage. So it was a complete kind of really cool case study to talk about where we actually helped the founding team flesh out the idea, complete that market research, pivot the idea a little bit so that it was a little bit more again targeted to a market, validated. Then we actually worked with them with the branding, with the sitemap, with the actual core development of the product. And then once that was built, we helped them with the go-to-market strategy, and they had some really early success in their scaling and doing phenomenal work. And Fundies is a online innovative marketplace platform that helps primarily early stage startups raise capital, and it kind of automates and enhances that entire capital raising process from kind of start to finish, connecting with angel investors, uh, venture capital funds, and providing a suite of tools to really enhance and automate that whole process of raising capital. And so it's a cool case study for us to talk about just because we were part of that team and that build right from day one all the way to still currently working with them on some of their growth now. Yeah, it's a cool one.
Very neat. Yeah, to be there from, development through to this point. I'm sure it's so exciting to kind of see where they've been and where they are now and where they're going. Very
Yeah,
cool.
but on that note too, we've worked with so many fortunate founders, and I'd love to sit and talk about all of them, but we always don't have the time for that. Fundies is just an easy one, top of mind to talk about. But yeah,
Yeah.
we've been so fortunate to work with a lot of amazing, incredibly talented founders. It's cool to see, and I love it because I get to learn from all of them. I mean, they're brilliant entrepreneurs with these brilliant backgrounds and skill sets and businesses, and we learn just as much as they learn from us. So it's a win-win always with the companies we get to work with.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat for you to have been, a recurring entrepreneur yourself. You're definitely the right guy for the job. So I'm sure they appreciate that you've kind of been there, done that as well, and kind of understand the journey they're on as well. So
Mhm.
very cool.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, before we wrap up, I just want to give you another chance. Like, if there's any kind of final tips or advice you want to leave our audience with, what comes to mind?
Honestly, I would reiterate kind of what I said earlier just about that such strong importance of the validation stage. I mean, the biggest reason why companies fail is because there's no market need or they haven't properly validated their target market. And Again, that saying that the value is in what gets used, not what gets built, is so important, and especially from the perspective of software development. Again, you can build the most innovative, coolest platform, but if you don't have users, if you don't have customers, it's arguably worthless. So that would just be one that I reiterate, and taking the time to do those early stage things first properly is really important. I see so many entrepreneurs try and rush those early stages. Just again, they're excited to get to market, they're excited to start, but take the time, do things right, build the foundation, and then scale. And then I guess just kind of the last piece of advice is really around those entrepreneurial mindset characteristics. The biggest one for me is resilience, and just having that mindset of going through your entrepreneurial journey with that forward thinking vision and that resilient mindset. Entrepreneurship's not an easy thing to do. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and having that resilient mindset is really important. One of the favorite things that I've been told was that good things come to those that are patient. Great things come to those that work hard, but the best things come to those that never give up. And I think that's really important for entrepreneurship and in general. And I think it's incredibly important to also be doing what you love and be passionate about, because of the journey that you have to go on as an entrepreneur. So loving what you do and being passionate about the business you're building is definitely, I know everyone says it, but it's incredibly important.
Spot on, and I think a perfect message for listeners, and I'm sure many can relate and appreciate that. Now, if anyone wanted to, get in touch with you or learn more about Audax Ventures, any questions or just learn more, where can they go?
Yeah, you can go to the website, audaxventures.ca. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram as well. Audax.ventures, I believe, is our handle. And then my personal email too is just joshua@audaxventures.ca. So we're around. We'd love to hear from anyone, whether it's big or small, or any questions or ways in which we can support your business or entrepreneurial journey. Please don't hesitate to reach out however you can, and hopefully look forward to chatting with some of you, those that are listening to this in the future, and helping your entrepreneurial journey however we can.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Josh, for joining us today. Again, Josh is the president of Audax Ventures, and we are very lucky to have this company on board as an elite partner with Spark Center. I've learned a lot, and I hope our audience has as well. Hopefully we can have you on again in the future and maybe dive into a little bit more about software development and what you guys do. Hear about some of those other client successes.
Yeah, would love that. Would love that. No, thank you so much, Kaylee, for having me on here. And again, thanks to Spark. It's been an incredible partnership from our side too, and looking forward to much more work together in the future. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye.